Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, more gloomy news from Biden. The White House says it's open to plan that would block sunlight from hitting the surface of the Earth in a bid to limit global warming. Can you believe it? The White House has opened the door to an audacious geoengineering plan. The idea would block sunlight from the Earth's surface to fight global warming. What could possibly go wrong? Scientists have warned the practice could have devastating effects. These are obviously scientists that don't take money from the government, because all the scientists that take money from the government, they're going to think this is a great idea. I don't know if I'm more worried about Biden getting us nuked from Russia or him trying to block out the sun. That's creepy. Despite some scientists warning the effort could have untold side effects, from altering the chemical makeup of the atmosphere, President Joe Biden's administration have admitted they're open to the idea. They're open to this crazy idea, which has never been attempted before. Obviously, it hasn't. We shouldn't be doing this. This is stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. You get a bunch of woke people in the White House. Joe Biden isn't making this decision. No, it's people you never heard of making this decision. You're going to get us all killed. Dumping a bunch of particles up in the atmosphere. Once you do that, it ain't like you can get it out of the atmosphere if it starts backfiring. You ever heard of snowball Earth? That's where the Earth turned into one big-ass snowball. It's happened 2 or 3 times in the history of the planet, and they think it's been caused by volcanic eruptions. And you get all that volcanic particle stuff up in the atmosphere, blocks out the sun, and that's probably where they got the idea. Blocks out the sun and everything freezes. So let's not try this. Let's not try this before Trump wins in 2024, okay? Trump's going to have to stop the madness. I'm pretty sure I heard Bill Gates talking about blocking out the sun like a year ago. So maybe he's in charge of this. In a report released Friday by the White House, officials suggested limiting sunlight to rapidly cool the planet, a process known as solar radiation modification. They've already given it a name, guys. It sounds like they're seriously considering doing this. Can we do this without the consent of the rest of the world? You know what I mean? Does the rest of the world want to do this? I bet the UK does. I'll bet you New Zealand does. Australia probably does. But I guess these stupid idiots, they're not just going to kill us, they're going to kill themselves too in the process. Once the Earth starts cooling off, and if you look up Snowball Earth, it tells you once you get to a certain point, it's a runaway effect. You know what I mean? The whole globe will freeze. One method would be to significantly increase the amount of aerosols in the stratosphere. This shit is this is fucking crazy. Which would reflect the sun rays from the planet. Other ideas floated included increasing cloud coverage over the oceans. How would we do that? Or reducing the amount of cirrus cloud formations, which reflect solar radiation back to the Earth? Why would you want to reflect it back to the Earth if you're trying to cool the planet? I think they meant reflect the solar radiation back into space, right? You wouldn't want to reflect it back into the Earth. The Biden administration is going to single-handedly end the entire human race. Normally if the government's going to do something stupid, they don't tell us that they're going to do it. So I'm surprised they're even talking about doing this. You can We couldn't possibly do this without the consent of the rest of the planet. The report noted that undertaking the mammoth task could have severe ramifications. You think? Weather patterns and food supplies, which would in turn impact biodiversity, geopolitics, and health. Yeah. It's not good to breathe in. I guess they're going to, if you dump these particles up high enough in the stratosphere, it stays up there. It doesn't float back down. It just stays there. And it stays there for thousands of years. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It also suggested that committing to the idea, then backtracking and changing course could lead to abrupt warming as the sun's rays suddenly heat the earth once more. Suddenly committing to it and then backtracking. So what are they saying? If you commit to it and you start to put chemicals or particles in the stratosphere, you start to do it and then you change course and say, now we shouldn't do this, that is going to make the temperature of the earth warmer if you don't commit all the way to it? This ain't science, guys. Trust the science. You know what I mean? Slow the spread by letting us dump chemicals into the stratosphere. Somebody needs to stop this, government. It's out of control. While insisting that it was not definitively moving ahead with the plan, the Biden administration insisted in its report that the idea appeared promising. Does this sound like a good idea to anybody? It does to them, apparently. Now, I can see if they announce that they're going to do this, all the conservatives are going to raise hell, and then all the Democrats will fall in line like good sheep and do exactly what their TV tells them to do. You know what I mean? That's exactly what would happen. They're brain dead. They can't even think for themselves. They can't look at what the White House is proposing and go, are you sure that's a good idea? It said a program of research into the practice would enable better informed decisions about the potential risks and benefits of blocking the sun. There's no benefits here, guys. There's no benefits at all whatsoever. The White House added that exploring the idea would also allow a better understanding of the foundational elements of greenhouse gas emissions mitigated and adaptation. I mean, Democrats, they're trying to get rid of fossil fuels and just use wind and solar. That's not working at all. There's not even a potential for it to work. And now they want to block out the sun. Oh, God. If they do this, it'll be a disaster, a catastrophe. It'll be the end of the human race. They don't want to just dump a little bit of particles up there just to see if it slightly changes it. How do they know how much chemicals to put up there or particles? How would they even know? There's no way to know. It's just like playing Russian roulette. The odds of them putting particles up in the stratosphere and having it cool the earth a little tiny bit, even if you lower the temperature 2 or 3 or 4 degrees, that's going to kill people like crazy. More people die of cold than they do of heat. The earth has never been greener. SRM, I forgot what that means already. Solar radiation mitigation, maybe? I forgot already. It offers the possibility of cooling the planet significantly on a timescale of a few years, the report claimed. It can kill us all off in just a few years. I can see that. I can see this happening. YouTube, when they decide to do this, if you say anything negative about cooling the planet with particles in the atmosphere, getting censored on YouTube and Facebook and shit. Twitter too, probably. I've been in Twitter jail 4 times in the past 3 months. While noting the idea could have benefits, the White House maintained that it has made no firm decisions over using this risky plan. So they're admitting it's risky. While some scientists feel the plan could be used as a last resort against climate change, others warn it could have catastrophic consequences on the atmosphere. Yeah. I don't think that the debate is over, guys. Okay? The lefties think the debate's over. I don't think so. Can they even prove that the ocean has risen even an inch in the past 100 years? I don't know. Can I post this on YouTube? You know what I mean? If I have doubts about whether this is a bad idea or not, I bet I could get a strike on this video. Fucking unbelievable, man. Scientists have been split over the potential benefits of the risky plan, with some warning it could result in a catastrophic change in the Earth's atmosphere. Others, however, claim it could be used as a last resort if fears over climate change are realized in the coming years and decades. Good, so maybe they're not going to try this for a few more years. The fact that this report even exists is probably the most consequential component of this release, said Suchi Talati, whatever the fuck his name is, idiot, the executive director of the Alliance for Just Deliberation on Solar Engineering. So these guys are just for deliberation. They're not for actually doing this, maybe. This report also signals that the U.S. government is supportive of the well-governed research, including outdoor experimentation, which I think is quite significant. So if they're going to start experimenting, they could kill us just doing that, I'll bet. You know what I mean? The government is supportive of well-governed research. I have to disagree on that. You know what I mean? The government puts all these reports together based on scientists that take money from the government. It's biased. And if the scientists don't agree with the narrative the government's pushing, they get fired. You know what I mean? So it's not well-governed research. It's governed, but not well-governed. Climate change is already having profound effects on the physical and natural world and on human well-being. And these effects will only grow as greenhouse gas concentrations increase and warming continues, the report stated. Understanding these impacts is crucial to enable informed decisions around a possible role for SRM in addressing human hardships associated with climate change. These people make up a problem and then come up with a solution that's going to get us all killed. This marked a significant shift in policy from Biden's predecessor, Donald Trump, who famously once described climate change as a hoax created by the Chinese. I think he said it was created by the Democrats. In its report, the White House doubled down on its commitment to tackling climate issues. If global warming is so bad, why do all these rich Democrats have beachfront properties right on the ocean? Yeah, it makes you wonder.
This is all wrong. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams. How dare you?
Oh, shit.